And over to old Hoover Dam. Boulder City confirms Hoover Dam isolated fire is extinguished. Welcome, Drake.
Breaking news, a possible explosion at the Hoover Dam.
Officials in Boulder City tweeting out saying they are responding to an emergency at the dam. We have that tweet up on your screen, also saying no further information available at this time. It says Boulder City Fire Department is en route there to this emergency call. Again, no additional information available. Also in a tweet that was posted just minutes ago, the city saying the fire was extinguished before Boulder City Fire Department arrived on that scene. It goes on to say the Bureau of Reclamation / the Hoover Dam will be handling any additional questions.
At this point, we've also been told that there are no injuries, so that is certainly a good thing there. Now, we've also reached out to Clark County Fire Department. They say they have received several calls but are not responding to the scene. Right now, you are looking at a traffic cam in the area. Again, we have a crew on the way right now trying to get more.
So this isn't the video. Does it have video? There we go.
Okay, so the Hoover.
There was the transformer that was on fire. Very short.
For local residents.
Damn it. Wasn't very spectacular. I'm sorry. This is once again, this is one of the problems of not watching shit before I get on here. Not very spectacular. Not very spectacular at all. But I assume it has something to do with the fucking heat wave. Heat waves stress transformers. People are using a lot of power.
We're going to start, though, with the story everybody's talking about, that extreme heat. So wherever you are in the country, we have a feeling you are waking up to it. Take a look at these high temperatures, this map. Heat alert stretching from California all the way to Massachusetts.
And it's much of the same across Western Europe as well, where folks are facing the region's most intense heat wave ever. And here was the image that went viral yesterday. It shows a member of the Queen's Guard being given a drink of water as the UK copes with the record temps there.
You know, those hats are hot. We're going to have more on that in a live report.
Hoda? Is that Hoda? Is that who that is? Hoda was getting ready to say that exact same thing. That fucking hat. That stupid fucking hat. Yes, I called it stupid, Warlord. That furry fucking hat. Rub the furry hat.
Al's got his full forecast, but first, NBC's Emily Aketa joins us from the Jersey Shore. Hey, Emily, good morning.
Good morning to you guys. This is the place you want to be amid sweltering heat. As you guys know, the East Coast has briefly escaped some of those scorching temperatures we've seen in other parts of the country. But now those high temps, they're coming for us, too. This morning, millions of Americans.
Is that the first time anyone's ever said that New Jersey is the place you want to be? Is that the first time those words have ever been spoken?
Americans are struggling to stay cool and safe as these dog days of summer usher in weather that can be downright dangerous.
This morning, Americans are waking up to blistering temperatures with an oppressive heat wave stretching from coast to coast.
It's just been brutal heat.
89 million
Yeet the
people
Carter, yes, is a dumb fucking hat.
Advisories, watches, or warnings. More than half of the country is seeing temperatures over 90 degrees, many setting records.
It's sweltering, and what's the worst is there's no air moving.
Triple digits extending through the plains from the Dakotas to Texas. Across the Lone Star.
I would like to impart something on you guys, and I'm gonna bring these pictures up later. This is the heat wave that occurred in June of 1976. This is the degree in change versus the average between 1951 and 1980. Okay? So that's how this data is laid out. This is the degree of change between the average temperature taken between 1951 and 1980. This is the June heat wave. Now, would you like to see our current heat wave? The June 2022 temperature versus the average 1951-1980. And yeah, this isn't even the current heat wave because this is June. This is last month's data. Yeah, that's a real fuck. We are in the midst of a climate emergency. This is the degree of difference of June 2022 versus the average temperature of 1951 through 1980. This was considered a heat wave before, compared to the same aggregate number between 1951 and 1980. This was considered a heat wave. We are the frogs in the pot of water. Like, guys, it is like, fuck. This blew me away. I believe this is degrees Fahrenheit. It might be it's probably degrees Celsius, actually. Yep, degrees Celsius. Oof. Big oof. Degrees Celsius. Jesus. Ooh. Damn. So, yeah. Enjoy the rest of your evenings.
Or shattered.
People say it's hot in Texas, but this is like different. It's hot.
Dallas reaching a whopping 109 degrees.
I don't have central air. It would have me at over 100 degrees inside of the house.
Michael Sneed says for him, the blazing Texas heat is a matter of life and death.
Most of the time I have to sit right on the couch up under the air condition, and that's not really doing much. And so I feel in danger all the time.
California's Central Valley is facing excessive heat warnings. The city of Fresno expecting triple-digit temperatures to linger for weeks. Officials already responding to calls for heat exhaustion warn that as little as 30 minutes of activity in this climate can be dangerous.
Our bodies are not necessarily used to or accustomed to this heat over long periods of time, and so it can be really dangerous if you're not prepared.
In Denver, the mile...
Let me give you an example of this heat exhaustion before we finish this story. I'm gonna sneak this in right here. A little short video. This is a UPS driver, I think, today.
We're learning more about that alarming video of a UPS guy in distress from the extreme heat. He struggles to make it onto the front porch. Then he collapses, overwhelmed by the 110-degree temperature in Arizona. He has to lie down for a moment to recover. Slowly, he gets back up again and reaches for the doorbell before stumbling back to his truck.
It's just a sickening feeling that you don't know what's going to happen to that guy if he goes to the next house or to his truck.
Homeowner Brian Enriquez says he was shaken when he saw what his Ring camera had captured.
You can see in the video, he's looking at his hands, shaking his hands. I mean, he could have a mini stroke or anything.
You may be surprised to hear that UPS trucks have no air conditioning.
No air conditioning.
So freaking hot back here.
Drivers are taking to social media to share their extreme working conditions. This guy is drenched in sweat.
To get air through the truck, the best way is we always leave the doors open.
We rented a UPS truck to experience what drivers endure.
UPS drivers call these trucks the box, and there's a reason. They literally bake in the sun. This one's been parked for a while. Outside, we're registering 95 degrees, but inside, we're approaching 120.
UPS says the driver on that Arizona video...
Total abuse of workers.
Today, adding, our package delivery vehicles make frequent stops, making air conditioning ineffective. Across the nation, the heat is on.
We're talking about all-time records, like we have never, in recorded history, in centuries, seen this type of heat.
Check out the forecast in Houston.
We got triple digits in the forecast.
Look at all those hundreds.
It's going to feel like you're standing inside of a hairdryer.
The extreme weather sparked severe thunderstorms and flooding in New York, where a massive sinkhole swallowed a van.
Oh my God!
In the United Kingdom, they're seeing temperatures of 100 degrees plus for the first time ever. They've literally never experienced this before in recorded history, going back 363 years. And only 5% of the homes there are air conditioned versus 90% of the homes here in the States.
Look at Europe right now. I mean, they're on fire.
London's forecast is 99. It goes from Paris all the way down into Spain.
We spoke to AccuWeather meteorologist Christina Shalhoub.
Just to put it in perspective for you, London at this time of year, the average high temperature is 71 degrees. So you're seeing a departure of about 33 degrees in just one day.
In France, it's being called the heat apocalypse.
I'm so sorry, Warlord.
His clothes on fire. Terrifying signs of the times, and perhaps our future.
Fuck.
High City hitting a sizzling 100 degrees. After escaping the heat over the weekend, the extreme weather is finally reaching the East Coast. Severe storms battered the New York
It's
City.
not in the future. It's here right now.
And causing damage like this sinkhole that swallowed a van in the Bronx. With summer just hitting its stride
Again, fucking wow.
of even hotter days to come.
And we could see temperatures eclipse more records today. If you're in one of those areas with oppressive heat, a few things to keep in mind. Make sure you're hydrating. If you have to be outside, try to limit your time in the sun. Close your blinds throughout the day to try to prevent some of that extra heat from coming into your homes. And if you've limited access to air conditioning, identify those areas where there are cooling centers or access to water in case you need to seek refuge from just this brutal weather. Guys, back to you.
All right, some good advice there. Emily Aketa for us on Long Branch.
She's got it like 67 in here. Like, I'm cold. Like, I have to put on my bathrobe. So, like, fucking, like, it's really fucking hot when I go outside. Let's talk about the heat wave in the UK. Been mentioned a couple times in both of the pieces we just watched.
Let's turn now to NBC News foreign correspondent Megan Fitzgerald, who joins us now live from London. Megan, it is great to see you. And we know that the London Fire Brigade declared a major incident after a huge surge in fires across the capital. But what more do we know, Megan, about what's actually happening there?
Yeah, Morgan, great to be with you. What we know at this hour, as you mentioned, is that there is this massive fire that's burning in the outskirts of London. It's East London, to be exact. We know that about 100 firefighters are battling this blaze. 15 fire trucks have deployed. But this is a critical situation here because, as you mentioned, we're seeing fires breaking out all throughout the capital here. The fire brigade tweeting, "We have declared a major incident as firefighters battle several significant fires across the capital." Then the mayor tweeting that this is critical. This country is not prepared for the temperatures that they're seeing. Temperatures soared past 104 degrees and continuing to climb. The infrastructure here not prepared for that. We've seen runways buckling. We've seen train tracks buckling from the heat. Keeping in mind, of course, that a lot of people in this country live without air conditioning. That's why a state of emergency has been called. That is why we saw top officials meeting over the weekend to try and come up with an emergency plan to deal with this, because the biggest concern is for the health and safety of the people here.
Megan, I mean, what are things looking like for the rest of the continent? Because, I mean, even if you just look more broadly, they're still in the middle of this gripping heat wave.
Over 1,000 people have died in the EU. That was the number yesterday. It may be higher now.
In the UK, we are seeing a heat wave gripping much of the southern part of the continent. You look at Portugal and Spain, for example, where temperatures have soared past 114 degrees. Right now, new numbers are in saying that more than 1,000 people have been killed. They've died because of this heat. Meanwhile,
we are up to 1,700 as of today, and it's not likely a accurate death toll.
30,000 acres are burning in the southeast portion of the country there. More evacuations happening today as well. And then, obviously, this continent not out of the woods anytime soon. We know that this heat wave is expected to stretch to Germany and into Belgium, where folks there are bracing for record-setting temps of 104 degrees in the coming days, Morgan.
All right. Sweating it out there in London for us, Megan. Thank you. We appreciate it.
Thanks for watching our
is the video Warlord sent me earlier. The fires in Spain. I believe it was. Yes, this is Spain yesterday.
What's he doing? What's he doing?
Are you quoting Don't Look Up? I really enjoyed that movie. And kind of a pertinent reference given the story that I'm getting ready to tell you. Biden holds off for now on climate emergency declaration. President Joe Biden will travel to Massachusetts on Wednesday to promote new efforts to combat climate change, although he will not declare an emergency that would unlock federal resources to deal with the issue, despite increasing pressure from climate activists and Democratic lawmakers. The White House said on Tuesday it has not ruled out issuing such a declaration letter, which would allow the president to reroute funds to climate efforts without congressional approval. On Wednesday, Biden will announce other new climate actions when he visits a former coal-fired power plant in Somerset, Massachusetts, which shuttered in 2017 but has since been reborn as an offshore wind power facility. It's fine. It'll be fine.
Come on, man.
But since Senator Joe Manchin, the Democrat from West Virginia, hit pause on negotiations over climate spending and taxes last week, the public attention has shifted to a presidential emergency declaration and what the Biden administration could do with the newfound powers. It's not on the table for this week. What emergency? What emergency? Everything's fine. This is fine. I need to Photoshop the dude that's sitting at the table with the coffee with the fire roller. This is fine.